I'm Birdman. Hey there, I'm going to show you how to make your very own homemade Birdman costume. I started making this one for my Best Picture song, so be sure to check out that video. But I continued on making it a little bit better than I did for that video, so now I'm going to show you step by step exactly how I made it. Wait, does Birdman fight? I would love to know the backstory of Birdman. He's a kung fu master. I found this really cool cheap plastic mask at the costume store. So I'll be able to kind of cut it along the beak there and cut out the eyes. It was tricky to kind of visualize where my shapes were going to be because it's a little bit different than what was already here. You know, I had to kind of ignore where the eyes were and make my own eyes. And then same thing with the beak. I knew that I was going to be able to just cut it along the beak and then remove the whole front section and attach it to this hood, this nylon hood, which covers the rest of the head. I just put some tape along the edges and then pressed it onto the hood really good. So next up is spray paint. Alright, so the paint is finished. Sort of just fades from gold on the top to darker blue on the beak and then blue around the neck. So it kind of fades on the sides, but then is more distinct along the bridge of the nose here. And then there is this other little piece that's kind of like a yellowish gold. So I just gotta glue that piece into place. But then this just goes down to the neck here, and then that will just kind of attach and overlap with the blue outfit. I found that after a few days, this tape keeps coming off, so I'm just going back in with hot glue and lining the edge of the tape and really making sure it stays on there. And to finish it up, I just added a few more little details and shapes with a black marker. So I took this blue sweater and I just drew out all the abs and everything. But then I just spray painted the rest of this black. So it kind of looks like it was a black sweater with blue. So I could have even used a black sweatshirt and then tried to paint this part blue, but it worked out better to find this blue. Hopefully this matches up really well with the mask. Instead of worrying about drawing out individual feathers necessarily, it's really just a bunch of intersecting diagonal lines that make these little diamond shapes. So from the center, you kind of just want to fan them out in one direction and then do a bunch of lines in the other direction. So they sort of just cross like that. And then on the arms, kind of just winged it. Winged it. Tried to find a good mix of diagonal lines. It's a little bit messier on the edges, but they're crisscrossing in that way where it sort of makes like diamond-y shapes. So I'm about to do the other arm now here. I did notice that we wanted some of these to extend down a little bit. So that was already black spray paint, and then I just kind of made a little stencil and painted the blue back onto it. So you could do that a few different ways. I could have left that all blue and then just filled in the in-between parts with black marker. In this case, it was black, and I added the blue back on. It was lucky that I was able to find spray paint that matched this color blue, so that helps a lot. Alright, so for the gloves, these are just leather gardening gloves that I found at the hardware store. They came in kind of like a canvas color. These ones I already had, they were painted black for something else. So I'm just gonna paint these gold, and then that's like all you really need. They're kind of longer than usual gloves, that's why these ones are good. His has kind of like a flex with like individual pieces, so you could just draw some thick black lines to kind of simulate that. You could totally do that for a little bit more detail. Alright, so this is the bracelet thingy. Don't know what it is, but I noticed in all the pictures that he has it on his right glove. So it's just a piece of cardboard that I bent so that I could kind of just tape it on, and then made the other little shapes and other little pieces. Painted the middle piece red, painted the other ones gold, drew on the little wings there, and that was it. So that kind of completes the right hand. For the belt, he's got this sweet Birdman logo, so I just drew that out on some cardboard and then cut out the shapes, spray painted it gold, and drew on the details with a Sharpie, and then just glued that onto a strip of red fabric. You could attach the belt with any kind of tape, but they do sell red duct tape, so that's gonna work even better. Alright, so time to make the wings. I'm just gonna cut the basic shapes out of cardboard, then lay down a base of blue spray paint. Alright, so to thicken up the edges of the wings, I decided to use some of this foam insulation. You can buy this at your regular hardware store. It's insulation for pipes, but it's great because it comes with an opening already in it, and it's already got some adhesive and everything, so it should stick right on here. So I'm going to be putting this all along the edge. Just going to smooth out the edges here. So you have to decide how far down it's going to start so that it can curve around. You know, you don't need it to be too far behind your head, but you want to be able to see a lot of the edge. So I wasn't sure how well this was going to hold, just the built-in adhesive, but it's working really good. It's staying in place, which is great. So I just kind of held it into place and then peeled off the backing off the adhesive, and it really stuck really well. So I might add some extra hot glue around the edges, but this is working great. I think I'm just going to throw some duct tape along the bottom half here just to smooth it out and make sure it's on really good. Alright, so that looks pretty awesome. It's got a good thickness to it. and it attached really well, so it just needs to be spray painted. But first, I think I'm gonna make a bunch of feathers, like just a ton of them out of cardboard. Just go crazy cutting up a bunch of feathers and then just like lay those out on here, because it's so plain that I feel like it needs feathers. You can actually buy a pack of feathers, I'm sure, from a craft store. That would look really good if you want to get extra fancy and just glue those all over this thing. But I'm just gonna make a bunch out of cardboard. It's gonna take a while. All right, so the trick with these feathers is that I'm kind of layering them and staggering them. So start at the bottom and work your way up. That way they can keep overlapping each other all the way up. I made bigger ones for the bottom and kind of longer so they could just take up more space. And then as I got to the top, I made smaller ones, skinnier ones, and made them a little bit curved even, so that way they could kind of curve around the top of the wings. All right, this looks pretty awesome. I'm not doing the middle section because it's gonna be covered by your body anyway, but now all we gotta do is paint it blue. These are the two shades of blue I use, by the way. Navy blue and brilliant blue. So I'm kind of going lighter along the edges and then darker in the middle. All right, so the last part of this costume that I'm gonna make are the boots. So you can pretty much find all different variety of boots at thrift stores, and they're not that expensive, 10 bucks, 15 bucks maybe. These big, crazy, like, I don't know, snow boots or snowboarding boots, they've got metal tips and stuff. So for this, all you really gotta do is take boots like these, spray them gold, and then maybe just add on the black toes. That could just be some black tape or some pieces of cardboard or something. But yeah, if you're doing top to bottom costume, just take some boots like this and paint them gold. All right, so I think that's it. It's time to try it on. Now I'm choosing to just clip these wings on. You can come up with another method like just taping it on, or you could even glue it on, or you could use some plastic zip ties and just like really attach them if you want. So totally up to you. Mine's a little bit more temporary, so I'm just gonna clip it by taping it right here to the back of my shirt like that. See? Works like a charm. All right, these metal clips are a lot stronger. I'm gonna use one of these. There we go. I don't know what this does. Beep boop, beep boop. You should put black makeup around your eyes to be totally official. I'm not gonna do it now, but if you're gonna wear this out and about as a costume, definitely put black. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna tuck this part into the turtleneck here. All right, thanks for watching. Be sure and follow me on Instagram for more behind the scenes photos of stuff I'm working on here at the house, and subscribe to the channel for more DIY videos and some fun homemade type comedy videos and things. All right, see you soon. It's raining outside, so I'll just look. Birds don't fly in the rain, do they?